Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So I'm going a little off of the normal stuff I would talk about today, and I'm wanting to talk to you guys about this because it's just something that's like been shared a lot lately, and it's something that's come up a lot in conversation lately, and it's kind of like weird. It bothers me a little bit. I'm going to talk to you guys about the Momo challenge, or like this Momo thing that everyone is like freaking out about right now online. And I mean, I think that if you have kids, you probably should be a little freaked out about it, because there's literally people using, well, I guess I'm going to explain what it is to you first. So what Momo was actually not intended for, to scare anybody. This guy, I don't remember where I read that he was from, but he actually made this Momo thing was an art sculpture. And it was based off of like ghosts and like paranormal stuff, like things that you would see in the paranormal. So he I guess he was really into that. He created it, and this was back in like 2016 when this was created, and it was just a piece of art. So this is something that us in the States are just now starting to hear about, is this Momo challenge. But this is something that has been going on in like Colombia and Mexico and other places in the world. So how it started on like a weird Facebook group where you would see the picture, you would text the number, and then you would get like creepy stuff sent back to you. But what it's turned into is now, I'm just talking about like what people are seeing here in America. And what's happening now is that people on YouTube and especially in kids YouTube, this Momo thing's popping up. And it's turned into this like Momo challenge, and it's not like an ad. I'm not really sure how it works because I personally haven't seen it because I don't go on kids YouTube. But it's basically popping up. It's the same concept, like you're texting a number and it's telling you to do certain things, like you call it at a certain time, and like the Momo picture shows up, and it basically is telling you to kill yourself, or like telling the kids to kill themselves. And that's the part that really bothers me, because a lot of people just hand their phones to their kids and they're like, oh yeah, they're just watching YouTube, like they're on kids YouTube, it's fine, thinking like that, like this kind of stuff isn't showing up on there, but it is. So if you haven't seen it and you're a parent, you should probably be wary about this that's going on. Like you should ask your kids if they've seen it, if they're hopefully they're not trying to do any of these things, because there was a 12-year-old girl in Colombia who actually ended up killing herself by doing this Momo challenge. They found her phone afterwards, and basically she had been texting with Momo, and Momo was telling her to do all these things, and she was like recording herself doing it, like doing it as like a challenge or whatever, and she ended up dying from it. So she technically killed herself. The Mexican government is still looking for the people who were texting her, but that's the thing, like obviously we as adults know that Momo isn't real, but our kids and these younger kids, and they don't know that it's not real. It's like Santa Claus. They think Santa Claus is real, and they're conditioned to think things like this are real, like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, etc. So like they see something like this that all these other kids are saying is real, they're gonna believe it's real, and obviously it's not. But the scary part about it is they think they're messing with this Momo person, but who are they really talking to? Who are they really texting? It could be, a pedophile. It could go so bad, and these people now have your kids' numbers. They're able to access their Facebooks, their personal, anything, because your phone number is attached to so many things, and all you have to do is go on any social media platform, type in that phone number, it's going to take you to that person's profile. And a lot of the people who are saying that they've done this, like Momo supposedly knows a lot about them, and I'm like, obviously they're going online and looking at these people's profiles and getting this stuff that they're saying back to them. And it's also like it's sending really graphic photos of decapitated people and just nasty stuff that kids really shouldn't be seeing. So it's just, obviously it's not real. Like this isn't like an urban legend. Like all these people are saying that Momo is an urban legend, blah, blah, blah. Like there was nothing about Momo prior to 2016 when this sculpture was created. And that's the thing that people need to realize, that this is something that was taken for one purpose and turned to something else, and it's affecting so many people at this point. And I mean, I'm sad in a sense that I'm only talking about, what's happening in America, being that it's, targeting YouTube kids and, people, because it is something that has been going on for a couple years in other countries, and it's just as wrong there. But, the fact that, I think that in our country, it's a lot more accessible for kids to get on the internet. It's a lot more accessible for them to find stuff like this, and, we need to be conscientious of that when we let younger people go online, because stuff like this isn't okay. It's not safe. I hope, like, because I'm not going to say, like, where I work or anything, but, like, this has been brought up subtly at work a few times, like, with people with kids. I'm like, like, they'll ask me if, like, I have kids or whatever, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, well, he's not, old enough to really understand what this is. And then they're saying that their kids have talked about it. And then, like, the little kid would be like, oh, yeah, I know what Momo is. And I'm just, like, looking at the parent, like, and this is, like, okay. It's not okay, because it might seem like a fun prank thing to text this number and see what it says. But obviously, Momo is not real. So who are they really talking to? And that's what, that's the part that really bothers me. And, I'm not really the type of person to tell people how to live their life, what to do with their children. It's just something that scares me. Like, I wouldn't want, if, my son was older, I wouldn't want to look at his phone and see something like this on it. So I'm doing this more so as a warning to parents that, this is happening, that kids are scared of this. It's showing up in their kids' YouTube content, basically telling them to stick forks in electrical sockets, telling them to just do all these dangerous things that they shouldn't be doing, and they're doing it because they're scared. And the thing is like, the person texting them or that they're communicating with is telling them, if they tell their parents about this, that Momo is going to come get them, basically. So this is why these kids are doing it. So I think since there is a lot of talk about this right now, I think, like, it's a time where we all need to just take a step back and realize that, this is fake. We need to go back, to kind of the basics and explain to kids again that we shouldn't be giving out sensitive information on the internet, because that's the biggest thing. If you're not giving out your phone number, these things can't happen. And why text this weird creature in the first place other than being scared of it? So ultimately, like, I think it's so important that we need to let our kids know that this isn't real. And I think it's silly that, like, I'm even sitting down here talking about this. Like, it should be so obvious that, we do these things that we know, but, like, it's so easy for things like this, especially online, to pop up out of nowhere and overnight become such a huge trend and such a big thing. And it's even leading to people who think it's cool, who want to try it, and now, like, other people are copycatting it, putting, like, these WhatsApp numbers on the image. Like, I've seen it on Twitter now, I've seen it on Facebook, Instagram. I've even seen, like, while, like, learning about, like, what's going on with it, I've even seen, like, a Tinder profile with the Momo on it with a phone number, like a WhatsApp phone number. So it's obviously gotten to the point where it's more of, like, a trending topic, and there probably are a lot of people who are just, like, trying to have fun with it, make jokes about it. But for the part of the internet that we don't want our kids talking to, it's such an easy way for them to get a hold of the kids. And that's the part that really freaks me out, because it literally could be, anybody texting them, and especially telling them to do these horrible things. And to that girl, the 12-year-old girl in Colombia or Mexico, I forget where it was, but to the person who actually lost their life over something so small, it's heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to her family. And I just hope you guys realize the severity of this stuff, because obviously someone has already died from this, and I know that it wasn't in America, but it's just now becoming popular in America. So I think, everyone needs to be aware, like, especially influencers. Like, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about people talking about it. And even, some of, like, the bigger YouTube people that, like, kids are actually watching, they're, like, calling these numbers, getting these things, and it's making kids want to do this. So I think anybody with a platform or any, outreach to anybody, especially people, because a lot of influencers know that a lot of little kids are watching their content. It's obviously not smart to just jump out there and be showing them how to do it. It's just ridiculous. But that's kind of what I've been seeing people doing, and that's why I wanted to make this, just because I don't want to be another person trying it and saying, oh, this works, like, I got these creepy text messages. No, I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to be the person advocating to the parents out there who have little kids who could be subjectified to this kind of stuff. So I hope that, all of you watching this, if you have kids, especially older kids who get online, I hope you go look at their phone. If you do see this little thing, I've probably already put all kinds of inserts of Momo, but, like, if you see this on their phone, you need to tell them that it's not real. It's not safe to talk to strangers on the internet. And if they get mad, just let them know that you care about them. And that's really all I'm going to be talking about in this video. I wasn't planning on making a video. I know I've said that like my next video is going to be about something else, but this was just so pressing on me that I wanted to take a second and just make this and kind of just put it out there how I feel about it. And I hope that this may help someone, you know, not fall down that hole where they're talking to a stranger or potentially, you know, doing something dangerous because they're scared of something on the internet. But as always, guys, thank you for stopping by my channel. Thanks for coming to my side of the world and listening to what goes on through my brain. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so instead of inserting, you know, some kids actually doing this challenge, I actually found an article or a video from CBS or CBC, one of the news platforms, where I think they did a really good job just showing how kids are affected by this. And I'm going to insert that now, so just so that you guys can have something more than just me talking about it. So you can actually see, you know, someone who actually was affected by this here. So, yeah.
YouTube.
7-year-old Tanner Markham knows how to navigate a smartphone.
Dr. Squish!
His favorite games and videos are right at his fingertips.
We didn't really think anything of it at first.
Mom Sarah Markham thought sites like YouTube Kids were safe.
When we would put him to bed, he would be scared and he'd be like, well, what about Momo?
Momo? She didn't recognize the name, but Tanner couldn't sleep, so they took him to a child therapist.
Momo came up, and then the therapist was asking more about it, and he actually got my phone and said, okay, Google, show me Momo.
Momo's going to kill you.
This terrifying face is circulating the web, interrupting kids' videos on YouTube.
It was just creepy how it had a V-shaped mouth.
Momo terrified Tanner.
Nightmares.
But the creature is not just scary. It's her message that has child psychologists concerned.
This very frightening looking figure is telling them you should kill yourself, and this is how.
Look in her eyes.
There's nothing funny about that, there's nothing cute about that, and it's extraordinarily harmful.
I need to sign up.
The Markhams are doing things differently around their house now.
I have to watch YouTube with her. I can't just watch it in my room by myself.
And just be aware of what your kids are watching.
They shouldn't watch scary videos anymore.
In Tooele, Jenna Rowe, 2 News.